Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right. Hey guys, welcome back to our show. I'm your host, John Harcar, and I'm here today with Cory Neubauer. Hope I got that right.
You sure did.
And what we're gonna talk about, besides Cory's journey in business and in real estate, we're gonna talk about, how important it is to really educate others. Really share your expertise with others, because there's so much misinformation out there. We want to make sure that we help guide people to the right ending. Remember, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, really all real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their business. And we do it because we have the tools and resources to grow exponentially the business that they want to grow, which in turn helps them live that incredible life that they're looking to live. Cory, man, welcome to our show.
Hey, thanks for having us. I'm excited to be here. Let's dig into this, right?
Yeah, I'm excited to go about our topic, with our mastermind and with what we do and the people I talk to. I love to try to give as much of my knowledge as I can because, like you said, on our pre-call, so much misinformation out there. But before we get into that, okay, tell our audience a little bit about you, kind of your background, how you got into real estate, what you're doing today, and, what brought you to today.
Yeah, no, definitely. I appreciate it. So yeah, I came across your podcast a while ago, and I just like what you're doing in your intro, what you said of, bringing in other service providers. I think sometimes, hey, you're an investor, you're only talking to investors, or you're in this party, you only talk to this. So a larger pool, I think, is so good to have a different frame of reference. So Cory Neubauer with Next Tier Insurance. So we focus on large homeowners association insurance in California and a lot of the Western states. But for us in my journey, right? I've been in commercial real estate. I worked for CBRE for quite a few years, kind of ran around the country, doing a lot of commercial stuff, working for some large, corporate 100 companies. So I've kind of seen it all. And a few years ago, kind of got tired of traveling and, got into the insurance space, which has been really kind of interesting. And now with insurance just skyrocketing, especially in California, right? We've had the recent fires. It's crazy. The numbers on those fires are astronomical. I think there's going to be something upwards of $200 billion in losses. So this is just cratering these markets. Florida's had their issues, right? I think they're kind of coming out the other side of it. We're kind of just getting into it. So from an investor standpoint, I think it's really interesting. I kind of want to dig in with you, John, is how are your clients kind of dealing with that? Because, insurance used to be an afterthought. Oh, go get the insurance. Now we're seeing people having to make decisions on particular properties based off how much the insurance is. So that's
100% right. That's you just nailed it. Is those numbers rising really make us have to reevaluate, reconsider, if it's viable, if it is a good investment, does it work now?
Yeah,
it's been
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, yeah, we've seen that. I mean, it's literally, it could be double or triple the price based off of what it is. In California, we have the fire risk, right? So it could be, a mile down the road.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
And it's so substantially different. So, and it's taxing all around, which is, from an investor standpoint, right? You want to have the best return on investment as possible, and it's eroding that dramatically. So, what do you see your teams doing? How are they kind of tackling that or looking at that?
Well, I mean, once again, it's just, we have to factor those higher numbers in, and it's making things tighter. I don't know if there's really a pivot around it, for what, I mean, I'm not affected by it as much. I'm not doing business in those areas, but, guys that are doing business in those areas that I know are, they're just having to reevaluate a lot of stuff. It's like how maybe their exits might be a little bit different. Maybe they, I don't know. So there's a lot of discomfort, you could say, with having those higher numbers, and it is affecting their business.
We were talking about teaching, right, or educating, right? My mom was a teacher for many years, and she always said that, do you have the heart of a teacher, right? Do you listen? Do you care? Do you want to understand? We talk in our business like, we're not just gonna tell you what to do. We're gonna walk hand in hand, right? We're gonna walk with you. And I think that's really what we've been doing lately is how do we walk with you, understand your unique perspective or where you're at and what you need help with, and then how can we help guide you so that you can be educated, right? Obviously, your audience is very educated, very savvy, but things continue to change, particularly here in California, right? We have a lot of regulation. Many states do, right? So it's these open markets are not open. They're being coerced by the regulation, and you see carriers are leaving these states and not insuring. So it's going to continue to be a challenging sector, and money's more expensive to get. So we kind of call it the perfect storm, especially here in California, right? We got rising rates, we got catastrophic losses, and inflation. It's an interesting one for sure.
So it's funny because the podcast I did right before this was a realtor in Malibu. And we talked, all about the fires and how it affected the market and the shutdown, and people who weren't even properties that weren't even damaged or affected have to leave because of the access part, right? You got PCH. Or the canyon roads. It's been a huge effect, and it's just sad to see. I mean, I remember surfing in those waters right there.
Yeah, you're saying you're a California boy, so
yes.
You've seen that. I mean, to give you some context too, right? The fires up in Northern California, that was 2018, the Camp Fires.
Yeah, the Camp Fire.
Yeah, there's something like 13,000 or about 12,000 structures that were destroyed. 8 years later, only 3,500 have been rebuilt. So
I read that number, I think.
The scar that's going to be here for so long, right?
Yeah.
Not just a financial scar, but to your point, right? There's some houses that didn't get burned, but if all your neighbors burn down, do you want to live in that community, right? If you're raising a family, are you going to wait 8 years for everything to come back? So it's saying we see raw land being sold now because they just don't want, it's just too much regulation. I think I was listening to something, there's 12 government agencies that you have to go through to rebuild a property.
Yeah.
Right? It's hard enough, right? Let alone having to go through the Coastal Commission and this and all these things. So I think it's going to highlight, regulation is good to a certain extent, but when you over-regulate, and, we're in California, so we're in the most litigious state and the most, regulation. So from an investor standpoint, it just continues to be, more and more challenging. But we pay the sunshine tax for sure.
Of course, yeah, you do. So tell us a little bit about what does your business look like today? What's your primary focus?
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, no, for sure. I appreciate that. No, we focused on homeowners associations, so large condos, communities throughout California. So I think there's something like 55,000 HOAs in California. So we have a little bit of work to do there, for sure. So yeah, our big thing is finding alternate solutions, because those rates are going up so high. How can these associations, tweak their policy, or maybe re-look at things and be able to find something that's more affordable, because these HOAs, they don't have an unlimited budget, and everything keeps going up. So that's kind of our jam right now, is really trying to, how do we rejig this with decreasing carriers that want to write this stuff. So it's really that's been a big part of us right now, is we're just trying to, how do we find a more cost-effective solution in this crazy market. So a lot of education that we do, work with a lot of large property management companies, direct boards, everything. So it's education. It is everything, because I think you bring the value first, and then the business will come. So that's kind of our approach. So
for sure. So you might have mentioned this, and I might have missed it. So you were doing commercial real estate. What prompted you, or what drove you, or what need did you see to follow this path to do insurance with HOAs? And then also, as a second question, what other solutions are there for HOAs? What other alternate things are there out there?
So on the first one, it's actually a marriage, right? So my wife was in insurance, so I did commercial real estate. She was insurance. Her father started a farmer's insurance, right? So I saw that. I'm kind of an operational guy for sure, so I was helping out their business in the background. And then when the transition happened, in commercial real estate, you're working for a big company, you switch to something else. It just seemed like the right move. So kind of got myself up to speed with all the insurance stuff, and realized, hey, there's a lot of help that could be done here. So that's what we did. And a couple of years ago, because of the crazy insurance market, my father-in-law is a farmer's agent, which is captive. He can only sell that product. So my wife and I rolled out and created our own independent insurance brokerage. So that's the past 2 years, Next Tier Insurance is what we've been working on. We recently started a podcast as well. Again, education, we call it infotainment, right? A little funny thing. I mean, you want to talk about the two most boring spaces, homeowners associations and insurance. I mean, everyone hates their HOA and they don't want to pay their taxes or pay their premium. So
the tax guy's pretty close up there.
Yeah, we're trying to bring a little personality, right, and say, hey, it's not the funnest thing, but I think we can make a difference. Having a different policy. I mean, I'm working on one right now. Last year they were at 60,000. Now it's at 750,000, and we're going to come in at 600,000. So it's still a 10x. But we're saving them $150,000. So when you can do things like that and work hard and find solutions and negotiate, that's where you are making a difference, and you're helping these communities, be able to sustain their properties, right? Because we see a lot of HOAs are having to defer regular maintenance just to pay their insurance premium.
Exactly.
Right. So it's crazy what they have to decide. Hey, do we replace the roof or do we pay next year's premium? And it's getting a little crazy. So, but we have a good time with it. We have a great team, And we're just trying to get out there, get the word out, and kind of change the whole view of.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Of HOAs and how they're working. So we work with a lot of property management companies that we see are starting to see that, right? They're using more AI. They're trying to communicate more, because I think, we all get frustrated when there's no communication.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
If you know what the other person's thinking, or you can find the information out, some of those assumptions go away, because you can actually talk to the person or get the information you want. So
yeah,
I think I'm hopeful that the future of this is more transparency. And I always say transparency builds trust. And they're going to say, okay, these people aren't trying to screw you. They just have a lot of other things going on. So how do you get information out and make it easy for people to understand? And I think then that brings down the temperature in the room, if you know what I mean.
Sure. No, 100%. So as you and your wife started this, you said 2 years, right?
Yes.
2 years. What struggles did you run into as you guys got started? Right, maybe like getting your name out, building your client base. Like what kind of things?
Believe it or not, it was the carrier. So right, when we're a broker, so right, we're kind of like being a product. You're selling different products, right? So you have to get authorization to sell these products or get appointments with these carriers. That was our biggest challenge, because they already had enough brokers out there brokering all of their policies or different carriers. So that's been the biggest challenge. Luckily for us, right, we've been in the space for a long time. You have good relationships. It's easy to go that, but it's like, can you deliver that product? So that's been our biggest challenge. And there's some misconceptions about farmers agents and us. And are you trying to control business, things like that. Right. So we've been kind of fighting that. But you know what? You fall down and you get back up and you do it again. And next time you fall down, it doesn't hurt as much. And then you learn where the sharp edge is, and you move this way and that way.
Or you learn how to fall.
Exactly right. Or you just
learn how to fall.
You get a padded vest like I like to wear, so I can take more hits. So,
right.
But no, it's been good. It's I've always kind of had that entrepreneurial spirit, and now being able to own your own business and affect change, and being small enough to be agile and make those changes. I've always worked for really large companies, which is great because you have all that horsepower, but it's kind of like moving a boulder, right? It takes forever. So now with a smaller team of we can sit down, brainstorm, and change, and completely change directions and pivot. So I think that's been a big advantage for us, and that keeps it exciting every day. Because it's like, wait, what can we tackle today overall? So
yeah.
All
right, I got a very serious question, and I need a very serious and honest answer.
I don't know about that.
Who's really the boss? Come on, who's the boss? You or your wife? Who's the boss?
You know what? My wife has said this from a long time ago, and it's great because my wife is she's the yin to my yang, but she's like, he controls the head, but she controls the neck. So as long as I'm going in the right direction, it's good. And that's the best way to put it.
That's great.
I know that she's right behind me, but if I'm not going the right way, she's going to let me know. So you can leave.
She can turn you. Yeah, she can turn you.
It's great. I met my wife a little later in life. And she's the best. She lets me be me, and we complement each other. And I think when you have a team like that, personally and then professionally as well, it gives you the fire. We spar all the time, but I think it's out of passion for that. So we kind of each have our own areas of expertise, right? She's the compliance. She's in the nuts and the bolts. I'm out front. She doesn't want to be out front, and I don't want to be in the back. So it's
same with mine. Yeah,
it works well. I'm like, you stay in your lane, I'll stay in my lane, and when we start to cross, it's like, wait, don't tell me what to do, and I won't tell you what to do. So it works.
Exactly.
It works well, and her parents are both in their business. and she's seen that growing up. She has a great work ethic, and I'm blessed to have, a partner and two beautiful children. So I got all the motivation in the world to get up every day and hit it as hard as I can. And that's
God bless you, man.
That's what we're gonna do.
I just like I like to ask. Yeah, I like to ask that question.
I like that.
I like to get some dynamic. I've never really heard someone say like, well, I'm the boss. Most of the time, it's either she's the boss or we both do it very kind of like how you laid it out. And I know it's like me and my wife, kind of like how you said it. I'm the out front. She does not want to be anywhere near that front, but she is the more the administrative, the tedious, right? The stuff I don't like, the calculator. Exactly.
Which for me is so amazing, because before meeting her, I didn't do those things well, right? And now that you have that partner that wants to attack those things that you don't like or that aren't great at, I mean, I feel like I have an even bigger superpower, right? Because it's like, wait a second, I got someone to back me up with this. So that's been that's the fun part for sure. Yeah. So speaking of things, she's calling me right now.
What do you see? Oh, well, there you go. Tell her I'm on a podcast. Leave me alone. What trends do you see, or what things do you see in your world that are happening that might be changing or coming down the pipe?
Yeah, no, I mean, on the insurance side, especially here in California, right, we have, I think we're a couple years behind Florida and some of these other markets that have really experienced a catastrophic situation from either, weather, regulation, whatever it might be. So we're still kind of in the thick of it. We were hoping we were getting to the top of the crest before the LA fires. Okay, hey, the carriers are understanding the markets. They're getting a little more comfortable. They see that they can kind of forecast what's happening. So they were a little more comfortable. And now this has kind of thrown another whole wrench into it. So I think we're going to continue to have uncertainty. We see somewhere, at least for the next 12 to 24 months, is anything going to fundamentally change? It's still, the property costs money. It costs this much to replace it. It's a multiplier. That's how much you're going to pay for insurance. So for us, it's not, and a lot of people are asking, oh, well, can the state come in and do this? You can't regulate your way out of paying lower prices. There's just, right? There's like, no matter, and then I always say, my line's always, if you want something done right, you let the government do it, right? So what are we going to put this in the hands of the government and they're going to do it better, cheaper, and faster? No. So I think it's hopefully competition. I think competition breeds, lower prices. So if there's less regulation and you let those carriers come back across the country, right, that they can then now be competitive, and then there'll be competition, and that'll hopefully at least level the prices out. We're never going back down to where we were. It's the same thing with gas. It's the same thing with housing prices, right? I mean, where you're at 10 years ago, I mean, houses were half the price, right? Are they going to go back down to that? No way.
A third.
Or a third
of the price.
Well, yeah. Now all those people that live there, they're not so happy with you, right? They're like, you raised all the prices, right?
No. Yeah. no. Yeah, really, right. I appreciate you coming on here, Cory, and sharing all that stuff, man. That's some good stuff. For those that are listening, maybe they're in the area, maybe they just have more questions on HOA insurance or any of that type of stuff. How do they get in touch? What's the best way to reach out?
Yeah, no, perfect. I appreciate that. Yeah, so we're focused mainly on the California, Arizona, Nevada, but we have great referral partners for everything. We're always happy to answer a question. I think relationships are everything, right? You might not need you today, but there's always a need. So for us, it's Next Tier Insurance. So it's NEXTIERINS, nexttierinsurance.com. So you can get us there. We got a thing. You can look up us on social. Our new Next Level Living podcast is out there. We're starting to put some episodes. John, we probably don't have as many as you have. I mean, how many are you up to, John?
Probably not. A lot.
How many do you have? A lot?
A lot. Oh, I don't know. A lot. I mean, just to give you an idea, because I do them on sporadic days. I lay them out, but like today, I had 5.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So we have a lot of people that want to be on the podcast. That's the cool part, right? We have a lot of content to bring our listeners.
That's a good problem to have. Well, keep doing what you're doing. We appreciate it. I'm definitely learning from you, just as we learn from everybody. So again, happy happy to be here. Happy we got a chance to catch up, and let's keep this conversation going for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And guys, we'll put all his contact information down in the show notes. So if any of you are out there, you want to reach out, maybe you want to have a conversation, please do. Once again, Cory, thank you for coming on and spending your time with us. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you on the next one. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.